Well, there goes my no editing sequence.
Oh, where's the map?
The map is in the glove box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've been here before, Brian. Right?
Yeah, we know where we are. It's just that the trails change all the time because it's natural.
Very.
All right, so I'll give you my first rundown of this vehicle. I don't like it. I think that the ride is terrible. It definitely doesn't have a smooth, compliant ride in the city streets of Dallas. It's a little better in Austin, only because Austin doesn't have the concrete potholes that we do in Dallas. So I drove it all the way down to Austin at the Marble Falls Off-Road Park so that I can see if it's better off-road than on-road, because the ride is so terrible, I think it's only justified off-road. This is why, too. All of these controls, which you will never use on a daily basis, are the other point of my problem with this vehicle. So we have a ton of buttons here with a ton of acronyms and pictures and a ton of knobs. It just, none of this ever makes sense to me. And my whole point of a vehicle, especially a new vehicle, when you get in, is you have to be able to use and locate buttons and know what they do without having to consult the owner's manual. And in this vehicle, there are more buttons placed in more spaces I didn't even know that I had to go consult the manual. And the biggest problem is, Derek, you want to open that glove box? Pull out that manual. Look at the size of that manual. That's the largest manual book and collection of information I've ever seen on a new vehicle these days.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Well, why is that? It's because this is an old vehicle. It's a new Lexus, but it hasn't changed much over the years. Sure, they've updated it, and yes, it's luxurious. I like the steering wheel. It's got a lot of nice design elements, and it has really cool things like these touch-sensitive lights that turn on and activate. And the rear cabin is also very nice. And, well, we have cool things in here too, like Climate Concierge, which I still can't really explain, but the best thing I can say is once you've turned it on, you can't turn it off. And why is that? Why do we have such a thing called Climate Concierge? What was wrong with auto? But we still have auto. So what's the point of having Climate Concierge and auto that you can't turn off? Well, I'd read the manual, but I don't have enough time for that. And just like a typical owner, I'll press the button and see and hope that something changes. There are other buttons in here too, and I'm sure other reviewers have shown you this button, which lowers the vehicle when you get out. And of course, we do have the air suspension, the hydraulic suspension, which is adjustable here. However, we have an off button as well. And there are just too many buttons here that do too many things that don't make any sense. If I was just to get into an off-roader and it would just automatically adjust itself for the terrain, which there are vehicles that do, and if there was a button that I could use to adjust the suspension and it would stay in that mode, that would be great. However, in this Lexus, when I adjust the suspension height, it doesn't do it immediately. And it doesn't do it while I'm driving. I have to be stopped, and I still can't figure out if I have to be in drive or neutral. It makes no sense to me. So I don't even fiddle with it, which is the whole problem I have. All of these buttons are taking up a lot of space, and they'll never be used. Of course, we have drive modes, but who needs a Sport Plus mode when we're off-road? Who needs a Sport Plus mode unless you're on the freeway? The whole point of this is, I'm not quite sure. We do have buttons we will try out today because it is raining, and I look forward to it. But in general, on the road, it doesn't make sense. But let's see if it makes sense off-road. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
I'm going to have you hold that camera, Derek.
Okay.
It's going to auto level, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and put this thing in drive. Let that Ranger or whatever that is go by. Raptor.
All right.
Let's move this out of the way a little bit. Turn that light off. Let that guy go by. Thanks, buddy. Let's go right around the Chevy.
Well, that happened.
Okay, I have no idea what mode we're in. It should be full-time four-wheel drive, but we have diff lock button. I don't know what ECT second does. It probably starts off in second gear. We have, I think that's rock control, so we can control our off-road speed, which we'll do in a minute. And then we have low range, which we're not in yet. But we're gonna get a feeling for this vehicle. It's now at the normal suspension height, and the ride quality so far has been pretty good off the road. On this washboard, feels pretty good. What do you think?
It's all right.
Pretty good for the washboard.
Okay. However, on the freeway, it picks up all the little nuances and the expansion joints, and it translates right through these semi low profile tires, and it's not the ride I was expecting out of a Lexus. Sure, it's a truck, but I was expecting a smoother, more controlled ride. It just seems very magnified in certain roads. But off-road, it's decent. Let me see that camera for a second. Let's pull it this way. Kind of give you guys a perspective of where we are right now. We're gonna head up towards some tougher trails. We're gonna get this thing nice and dirty for you. Let's go this way. I do have to say that what comes to mind when I started driving this was I would rather have the Infiniti QX85. That also has semi-aniline leather like this does. It also has four-wheel low. It also has a V8 engine. Actually, the Infiniti V8 sounds better and provides more power. And of course, that's also known as the Nissan Armada. So we are comparing apples to apples here. We have two Japanese 4x4 truck off-road extreme adventure vehicles that are pretty basic, although the Armada / QX85 is newer. They both have the same capabilities and almost quite practically the same price tag. So why would you get the Lexus, or why would you even get a Land Cruiser? And I think, in my opinion, it's because you can't afford to pave your driveway. But let's go ahead and head over to the trail. I never remember going this way before. Have we been this way?
Geez, that's a good question. It's not ringing a bell, but it's been a while since I've been here.
All right, I'll let you hold that.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. The map is large, but it's not that detailed, and it's hard to navigate. If you look down here, you'll see this big, gigantic mouse pad thing, which is very old technology, and the first thing I want to do is pick it up and throw it out the window. This is the most annoying thing about this. Actually, I'll even get to the second most annoying thing. It's when you get in the vehicle here, we have a very nice panel here that hides a cubby, which isn't very deep, and it's not flocked. It's hard plastic. And if we look here, we have cup holders that are as far away from the driver as possible. And if I was to get in this vehicle, the first thing I want to do is set my phone down. There's nowhere really to put my phone, because I could stick it here in the cup holders, but when it comes time to going to first world problems, like a Starbucks drive-through, I have to take my wallet out and pay, and then I have to put my drink down, but I've got my wallet and my phone and a drink, and there's nowhere to put anything other than a drink in the cup holder. So there's limited space in here, and that's kind of like, if this is for off-road, it's great, but if you're going to live with this in the city and drive it on a daily basis, it's not so good. And you may think the center console provides an answer to that, but it doesn't, because we have more hard plastic. And I'm not going to put my phone in here and have it flop around, because all I'll hear all day is a phone sliding around on cheap, hard plastic. Now, there is a deep space underneath it, but it provides nothing other than more hard plastic storage. And I don't know what the use of that is supposed to be for, but it's there. And I guess if you're a pack rat, this is a vehicle for you. There's very limited space too. We have map pockets, but they're not going to hold much, because you can't get a Gatorade bottle down in there. There's if you're thirsty on your off-roading, there's really nowhere to put equipment or anything of the sort in the front area of this cabin. So while it may be a really cool vehicle for old money, it's just too old on the interior to be of any use for today's technologies. There's nowhere to put my phone, and speaking of which, there's only one USB port, and it's right here. So there's one USB port in this entire vehicle, and this is the 2-row. There's a 3-row version, which will hold more passengers, but as far as however many people you can pack in this vehicle, there's only one USB port, and I don't think that's acceptable in an $89,000 vehicle. We do have radar cruise, we do have lane departure, but it only works above 32 miles an hour. There are so many caveats to this vehicle. I would skip right past it and look at the Infiniti QX85. It's that drastic between the two vehicles, and you wouldn't think about it until you get behind the wheel of one. So today we're going to do that, take it off road, get this thing real dirty, and see how much I like it at the end of this adventure. So will it redeem itself off road? And by the way, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. We're doing this video without any edits, and we're doing it with another mission in mind. Stay tuned, because we're going to drive another vehicle today in this rain on these tracks. It's the Ram Power Wagon, the 2019 Power Wagon. So if you are nice enough to watch this entire video, stay tuned, because we'll have another video for you soon. And by the way, it is coming down nice and hard. You can hear it hitting the, sounds like a cheap tin roof into here, doesn't it? Are you guys agreeing with me or disagreeing? What? It's Lexus quiet in here. All right, this feels like Jurassic Park right now.
Yeah, I know.
Where are we going?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Well,
Park Road 2 or Park Road 1?
Here, let me grab that.
Okay. Well, it depends on what you want to do. So, all right. Park Road 2. All right, that's 1, 2.
Wait, this location?
I'm thinking.
This is, I guess this is the typical guys and maps thing.
Okay, yeah. I think we're at this split because, yeah, Park Road 1 is that way and then the 2 is this way.
Okay.
So it just depends on what sounds good to you.
So Waterfall Falls, Wet and Wild, 4x4. Carnage Canyon. I say we go 2. Let's take Park Road 2. We'll go until it's cut off.
yeah, right? Or washed out.
Well, you know, one thing we're going to know about is how, holy moly. How dirty are we going to get this thing?
Very.
Oh, that's not that deep. All right. There are a lot of ruts around here. Oh, yeah. Now, the beauty of the four-wheel drive Lexus is that we should be able to get all around this park, which is pretty technical. We should be able to get around it without getting our shoes wet or muddy. We shouldn't even have to get out of the vehicle. And we're going to test that as well on the technical off-road courses, because we do have a camera button here. Down in there, you'll see, right there, a camera button. And I want to see if that's going to help us with getting around some of these technical trails. I also want to say, what really annoys me is I feel like we should raise the suspension, because you'll see there it's in normal mode. And we'll stop and we'll hit up and it will raise. However, as we drive along, it's going to lower down to normal again, which is pointless, right? Because if we don't even really need a diff lock and we don't really need any crawl control, why is it automatically lowering again? So I'm going to assume that once it's raised, which it hasn't done yet, because we're in drive. If I go to neutral, see, I don't understand. How come it? I don't know why it's so technical. There are other vehicles that just do. There we go. Okay, so it's in high. And now I'm going to press off. And hopefully that'll keep it in the high mode. We'll find out if it lowers when we get to certain speeds. All right, we've been to this park in many different vehicles. I'm actually going to do a little bit of technical driving here. We want to get this as dirty as possible. You're not supposed to speed in the park, but we can find some real nice mud to get through. All right, we're losing a little bit of traction.
Imagine that.
What I want to do is make sure we avoid like surprise ruts. Oh.
Sorry about that.
Did it die on us? No, okay.
No, I just got.
I can't see how deep. I know that there are ruts here, and I don't want to get caught in them.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go too fast, but I do want to go a little crazy in here. Should we do some e-brake turns? There we go. Maybe closing that will improve the sound quality.
Yeah, I think so.
Holy moly.
Oh boy.
All right. So.
Okay, so now you're at, it came down.
The suspension lowered down to normal, and we had it on off, so we got up to a speed and it lowered again. This is the most pointless off-roader I've ever encountered.
What I'm thinking is maybe if you had, because you don't have it in 4 high, right?
No, it is. That's 4 high. Is it? Yeah. You only push it to put it in 4 low.
Oh, okay. And you got to do neutral for that.
Yeah, which I'm not going to do. So, again, we should be able to get in a vehicle and drive it, especially a brand new one, without having to consult the manual. So, the off button didn't work. The suspension didn't remain in the position we wanted it in. And we are off-road, and it is in 4-wheel drive because that's permanent. But what do we have to do to make it work properly? So now we're at this creek, which is rising on us, and we need to cross it, right? So I'm going to raise the suspension, which I tried doing, and it hasn't raised yet. And right there, you can see it's still trying to work itself out. So we have to wait? What if I... I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Some of these systems just take a while. Just got to wait it out, I guess.
I'm going to turn off the passenger departure button.
Oh, yeah, and any sort of parking sensors, too, because you don't want them beeping at you incessantly.
Okay, that's there.
Okay.
Okay, I've got the camera button. Okay, so obviously it's raining, and the cameras are going to be wet.
Yep. They're self-washing now.
But can we get cameras on the full screen? Nope. We're always going to have a side panel. And it still hasn't raised the suspension. It raises when I move forward. So when I move forward, then it says it's raising it. But we're still not fully raised. It only goes up when I move. Okay, now we're in full mode. See, the beauty of the hydraulic suspension is it's supposed to raise and lower the vehicle faster than the air suspension. And it does, but only when you're moving in this vehicle, which is stupid. All right, so we're ready to cross this. Are you ready for this? We're still in normal 4-wheel drive. Oh, yeah. And now it's lowering the suspension. We didn't even go past 10 miles an hour, and it's lowering. I don't understand. We didn't even hit low.
No, it's still in high.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not blinking or anything.
Okay, let's press off. Off won't even turn it off. So this whole adventure, we're going to have to keep keeping our eye on the height of the suspension. I can tell you right now, the rear end is moving on its own separately from the front end.
Getting kind of squirrely.
It's definitely squirrely, and it's definitely wet around here, and I have no idea which trail we're on.
Oh, you took Park Road 2, right?
It's definitely rougher. We just kept going straight.
Okay. Let's see.
I just don't want to get... Oh, that's interesting. I don't want to get to a point where we're on a sideways trail.
Yeah.
It's real bad out here.
This is awesome. This is why we brought this.
And it's the perfect color to, get muddy.
Okay, so that's definitely mud off to the right.
Yeah, you don't want to
So we're not going to go there because I don't know how deep that is. But we're going to stay here on the left,
Yeah.
which is identified with a lot of rocks. We're still trying to find the coffee shack. Ooh.
Hey, might float to us.
Yeah. Okay, now here's the treacherous part. I'm assuming we can use rock control to control our downhill speed, so let's do that. We're going to push this button here. So crawl not available, select L4. So we're going to go into L4. We're going to put it in neutral. Go ahead and show the... Okay, VCS turned off, pre-collision brake unavailable. Okay, so now we have mud and sand, mogul, loose rock. I think we'll stick on mud and sand. Multi-terrain select. All right. If I push down, nothing happens. But we are in 4 low. Let's go ahead and move forward. I don't know how we control the speed.
With your brake.
With my brake. Here, let's hand the camera back to Bob. And you just keep if you angle it a little bit more. There you go. It's definitely not working out the speed.
I want to say that that'll control the speed. Like, I think there's different speed settings.
Okay, so this knob was actually controlling the different terrain mode. It actually wasn't doing a crawl mode. So there's got to be another button here somewhere, which the buttons in this car are laid out in such a confusing way. I can't find what I need when I need it. And I see buttons that aren't relative. Like, is it over here? No. Did you push this one? Yeah, so that's on. That's the multi-terrain select button. So this button activates whatever this knob does. This knob, when you push on it, doesn't do anything. So we're in the mud and sand mode. We're in 4-wheel low. But there's no crawl control. But it says crawl. Maybe we have to move it to crawl. Nope. That's rock and dirt. All right. Still confusing. Let me hold this camera down. All right. Oh boy. Well, it's not moving rapidly, but we also see a rock here.
You want me to get out and spot?
Well, yeah, we should. I don't think it'd be that deep.
Stay to your left.
Really?
Do what you need.
Yeah, if you want to get out and spot, let's go ahead and try it out. Let's see. How you gonna? I guess I'll have to back up and pick you up when we get across.
Something. Yeah. Do you want me to take that out there?
Yeah, I'll let you take this out.
It can take water?
Yeah, it's a phone.
Well, I mean the gimbal, though.
Sure, yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, let me get my hood and everything on real quick.
Okay. Try not to freaking drop it in there.
Yeah, I can't imagine this creek's that deep because we've crossed it before.
Yeah.
and I can still see where the rocks are.
Yeah, okay.
If it's more than 2 feet, then we're screwed.
Better hope it's not. No, it's not that deep.
Okay. All right. Let me get an idea of it first. Shit. What's that? I can cross here probably. Okay.
Well, I tried doing something cool, but it didn't work because it said activate crawl control, and I have no idea how to do it. So we're gonna go. We're gonna turn around and go through that one more time. What do you think?
Sounds fun, man.
All right.
You know, the only drawback to all this rain is any sort of mud you get on the vehicle is pretty much washed off.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a camera here showing where we are with close rocks and stuff. Let's see if we can turn around again. That looks like a good spot.
That looks like fun.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So it actually doesn't feel, once you get used to this thing, it doesn't feel as treacherous as it looks out there, which is obviously a plus. All right. Now that the rain has subsided, we can take more outdoor shots too.
Yeah, from up here, it just looks a lot worse than it is. Once you're out there, it's just
Oh, it's
just walks
smoother?
right through it. Yeah. But not something I wanted to be ankle deep in.
No. No one wants to be ankle deep in anything. Okay, so let's just recap this real quick. Multi-terrain select. Why is that locked? Let's unlock that. My camera is being a pain in the ass. There we go. All right, so crawl speed. Okay, so we press it a second time. Crawl is activated, right? So this is the problem with not reading the manual. If we look down here, we have this button here, which, what does that do? You said it.
Yeah, that allows you to pivot so you can turn a sharper turn in tight trails.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this open area here to make a turn and see if we can do a full 360 with a pivoted wheel. That doesn't sound good at all. My foot's completely off. See, we thought we were running over a rock when it did that.
Yeah, it's working. It's just, yeah, noisy.
Okay, so we're fully right. And that is the worst sound in the world. Once that truck goes by, maybe I'll have you get out, Derek, and just shoot this so that we know what it looks and sounds like from the outside.
Yeah.
So we've got the mode activated. And hopefully it will stay active when you get out.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay. All right.
It's really cool to watch from the outside because you see that back wheel just like sliding. It's totally locked up.
It feels weird, but
Yeah.
it sounds terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that good, but yeah, it's definitely works. It's kind of weird to watch, but kind of cool at the same time.
All right, well, let's continue our adventure here. I'll let you put your seatbelt on. We have that mode active right here. You can see that icon clearly. And then we're going to go ahead and turn it off. And we're still in crawl mode, so we just press this again. Crawl mode has been deactivated, but we are still in the multi-terrain select. So that button, there's 500 buttons in here, but one button does two things. Good thing the manual is 5,000 pages thick. All right, I'll let you hold on to that. We're in 4 low. And I don't want to create a problem here at the course, so I'm not gonna, I really want to go romping around in the mud now. But I can make the U-turn just as well. All right. We're in mud and sand. I think if we go straight, we end up in a loop from where we were, maybe.
Jeez, I lost track.
We're along that river creek thing. Here, let me. So I have the phone on a gimbal just so that we can just see like the kind of extremities of the extreme angles and everything that the truck is going on. But right now we're not quite pushing it too hard. Pretty rocky. We're still in high. Uh-oh. What's that? I don't know how deep this is, but we'll go around it. Those guys are going to have fun out here in that thing.
Oh man,
Another crossing.
cool.
All right. So we'll use the rock control going down this one. So we'll press that button again. And it says crawl is activated. And then we have a speed of 1 out of 5. So we're going to go ahead and adjust it by turning this knob to the mid-range. Now it's at 3. And all I have to do is just take my foot off the brake. And the Velociraptor under the hood there. This is Jurassic Park.
It's telling the other ones. They're communicating.
Good thing it's already been fed.
So that's the secret, is pushing that twice and then you can
Yeah.
get the speed.
So it controls the downhill speed, and then it also does the same thing going uphill. So it should take us uphill without the brakes, which it's doing. I mean, my feet are completely off the pedals. Yeah. Now it's not doing any steering. I'm just letting it do that on its own. And if we want to go faster, we just turn this knob. And there we are.
Off-road cruise control.
Yeah, that's what it is, off-road cruise. And we still have the cameras on, so we can see everything. Ah, it's braking. We're looking for the T-Rex. Do you see it?
Not yet.
Where's the sheep? All right, give me 1 second. I'm fiddling around with the camera as well, which is fun. All right, grab that.
And I don't remember seeing anything like these this railing before. So yeah,
Yeah,
they want to.
change the course to keep people on track.
Yeah, must be too deep over there. Or they don't want people romping around in it too much. Yeah.
Okay, so I turned off crawl control, and now we're just in 4-wheel low, and the terrain select is mud and sand. And we're gonna pick up some speed. I'd rather, you know what? We should probably take it out of 4-wheel low. Let's do that. So we're completely stopped. Okay, and the vehicle's still on high suspension. Put it in drive. Let these guys go by. All right. Go back on the rail. So I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. This is mainly for the enthusiasts, even though I've pretty much said I don't like the Lexus LX570. We're trying to see if it's any good off-road, and it's been pretty good so far. A little complicated, but compared to some of the other off-roaders, I personally still have dry shoes. So it scores well in that department. You can wear very expensive shoes when you're off-roading so far. All right, now we're back on the rock. Oh, what is all that?
Looks like fun.
Holy moly. Okay, let's see. I want to get.
You want to
So we
on
have
the drink.
we have lifted our suspension, but we don't have a good breakover angle, which is the area between the two wheels. So because of the mud rail that we have, or the side steps, I don't know about this one, but we should be able to do it. Derek, do you want to record this from the outside?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to put this in 4 low. Sorry, I just lowered the suspension. 4 low. Drive. I'm going to have crawl active, and we're going to have the suspension in high. Okay.
All right,
You're good
cool.
to go. Get
I'll-
out and have fun.
Yeah, give me a second to get to the.
Yeah, make sure you get
Situated.
that. Make sure you get that sign too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'll let you get situated.
Okay. See if I can get across here. Oh boy. Let's see. That ain't worth it.
All right, that was fun.
Makes it look easy.
You want to see what it's like from the inside?
Sure.
Okay, we'll turn around and do it again.
All right.
I'll hold that.
Thanks.
I know it can be hard to hold a camera and put your seatbelt on. Trying to beat the chimes and all that other stuff that goes on. Okay. This camera needs to pan. Pan, camera, pan. No, that's not.
Somebody there. Yeah, this LX probably sticks out like a sore thumb here because this is Wrangler country. I don't think. I think you and I are the only ones who have taken one of these out here.
Yeah, we're definitely. There we go. I think my gimbal battery is running low. We may have to.
Uh-oh.
Let's try this. We may have to take the camera off the gimbal.
Hopefully the rain didn't foul it up.
No, there we go. I got it back. Okay.
Ah,
All
Back in
so
business.
we are in we're in crawl mode. We're gonna hit this button here, and we're gonna hard left. Let it. At one point, it was really like it felt like it was pulling it back, like it's doing right now. It feels like,
It's cutting power or something.
yeah, the way that one inside wheel turns, holds the turn.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you're moving forward a little bit and then coming back. All right.
Interesting.
All right, so now we're at full speed on rock control, heading downhill to the. Did it look like it was getting much clearance from the water, like when we were going into the dip?
Oh yeah, it was fine. It was.
Because from here, it looked like it was going to pull in some.
Go into the abyss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it don't. Yeah,
All right. Well,
it looks dramatic, more dramatic from
So
up here.
what I was able to do is go from 5 to 1 like that, and it did it all on its own.
Yep.
So there's never a need to hit the brake.
Yep, just look ahead and steer.
Yeah, you still have to steer.
Thanks a lot, Lexus.
All right, now it's no longer braking and it's applying. It's, you know what I have to say though? Wood, I'm never really a fan of the wood and leather steering wheel because when you get to the wood part, it just seems to be very slippery. And off-road here, it has slipped through my hands a couple times. You're not death gripping this thing. You never want to do that. But it seems like it just slips through. And I don't know if I like that. I want to have that control. But the only way you have control is here, but not if you're at a off-road position and it's just going to come right through your hands. All right, we're going to go increase our speed a little bit. All right, we're out of that rut. And we're going to brake and then turn off call control. So I see why it's one button, because you can turn it on and off and on and off, but still stay in the terrain mode. But if I'm on this speed, when I turn off crawl control, I'm in a different terrain mode. So I have to always turn it back to the mode I was in, which in this case is mud and sand. So I don't know why that's one button. It kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. All right. And, you know, like, why wouldn't crawl control be a part of four-wheel low activation? Like, to me, there's some disconnect with what Toyota or Lexus is trying to do here. I think maybe they could work on that. Are you listening, guys?
Oh, yeah. I do like the fact that, I know, you know, you're saying it's got a lot of buttons and everything, but I like the fact that they grouped them all together down here. So it's pretty much a one-stop shop.
I mean, a lot of other manufacturers have different modes for different drive mode buttons, and it just happens. And you let it do it on its own. So I think in this car, it's the most complex out of all of them. This is interesting. We'll go this way.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna power out of the ruts.
Gonna be plenty of those today.
Oh, shit.
You can get in that slip.
All right. You want to get out and record that?
I can, yeah.
It's pretty slippery, so actually let me put you on the grass.
Thanks.
Let me get into that pole and put you in the grass. Holy shit, it's slippery.
Getting that wiggle.
Let me go here. And then I'll turn around and I'll put you in there. And then I'll be in the right direction anyway. And then I'll get it ready.
All right.
Yeah. All right. It seems like we need this button again. This is turning out to be my favorite button.
The pivot?
Yeah. Although let's see how it is on the mud here. Can it do it? I wish it would work with the parking control. Here, let me tell you what it looks like. I wonder if Mike Swears was a part of this development.
That's a good question.
Let us know, Mike. Okay. I'll leave it right there for you. You should have grass 6 inches from the door.
Okay, so get out right here.
Yeah, I'll just come back from that side and see how this is on the mud and the ruts, you know, like powering out of it and stuff.
Do you want me to zoom in with this? I notice it gets a little grainy when I do that.
We don't do zoom on new car spin.
Okay. Well, not camera zoom, car zoom, but not camera zoom.
Yeah, we don't work too hard.
All right. Oh man.
Get in before you get struck by a lightning.
That looked fun.
It was fun until that one part.
Oh boy. These poor floor mats.
Yeah, luckily you can replace floor mats.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so are we gonna head back now? Is it time to try the Power Wagon?
That's up to you, man.
I think we can do that. And you want to? Well, okay. I'm authorized to drive this. We'll drive the Power Wagon, and then
You can drive the Power Wagon.
right. All right, I'll drive the Power Wagon. All right. It'll
I
take-
guess if I have to.
Yeah, we'll see if it behaves on this trail the same way. And at the end, I mean, it's not a comparison between these two because they obviously don't compare. I wish I had an Infinity. Oh shit.
Oh man.
It's pretty slippery, and these aren't the right tires for this kind of stuff. Just keep that in mind. And crawl control really didn't take us out of it. And these
You can
cameras are
straddle
useless.
the rut if you can.
Well, I have to get in the rut.
Fuck. Oh. You want me to get out?
Nope. Come on, get in there. See, the wood steering wheel doesn't help. All right. Well, I didn't hear any cracking, so nothing happened.
Always a good sign.
Yeah. All right. And you can tell we're not like being crazy off-road here. We're just totally getting taken in by the mud because it did rain. So the point, though, is my shoes are still dry. I don't know
I'm
what
so
else to
happy
say.
for you.
I know. I don't know what else to say. If you have one of these, you need an assistant.
Don't call me.
You can reach Derek on YouTube at New
Don't.
Car Spin.
Let them spam your inbox.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I forgot we got to go back down though. All right, so we'll turn crawl control on because I'm effectively useless at going slowly. By the way, we tried getting crawl control to get us out of the rut there, and it didn't quite work as well as I'd hoped.
Nuts.
So it worked in reverse though.
Aha.
You'll if you back that up and watch what we were doing when we were going slowly through that last rut there, out when you had the exterior shot, that was reverse with crawl control.
Oh, okay. You want me to get out for this? Film
Nope.
you going down this?
Oh no, we've done this many times. I'm just trying to avoid that rock.
Yeah.
Hopefully the tires will keep gripping. Look at that. It looks like the bumper's under the water. Was it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a good thing about these giant wheels. You know, you're not as close.
Make sure you get that sign again. That's awesome.
I think it's appropriately named.
It
Got a
is.
little bit of slip and slide there.
Yeah, it's fun. And we don't have any mud yet on the windshield.
Yeah.
There's no mud on the door handles either. So it does stay pretty clean when you do have to get wet and wild.
You know, this rain is just kind of spoiling the fun in that way.
Yeah, it is.
But the tires are gunked up, so, you know, you got some evidence.
Oh, good. Good. Excellent. All right, we're going to take it out of crawl. You just press the button. And then when you do that, though, we're in rock on the multi-terrain because we were in the faster speed. So that's the only downside. So now we're going to be back in mud and sand. Now we're just going to drive along here for low. Wow, a lot of Jeeps over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wrangler country.
Can you lower that shade? By the way, the shades on the side windows are manual, which is unexpected in a $89,000 Lexus. I don't know what the max speed in 4 low would be.
Yeah, you got me.
I wonder if it would warn us. I don't want to go faster than this. 10, 12 miles an hour is what we're doing now.
Yeah, you don't want to beat up the suspension too much. Because
It is-
there's a lot of this is just not chewed up, but, you know, it's got its natural variations, so don't want to bash it.
Well, this is the most expensive four-wheeler I've driven, actually.
Yeah,
And
it's up there.
I know that it's made off that legendary Land Cruiser, so it shouldn't be a problem. Did we come down this way? Yeah, we did. We're not in rock control, by the way. This is Brian control. I'm more worried about those wheels. The Monronis down here.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. We are riding on the optional 21-inch split 10-spoke alloy wheels for $795. So these aren't the standard wheels that come with the car. They do look good, and as far as off-road performance, I've been shitting my pants in the mud.
A color match.
I mean, we got caught in that rut. You felt what it was like. That first time it happened, though, holy moly. Oh, man. But now I'm used to it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Can't knock it. So I would say that if you're looking for an off-road vehicle and you don't quite want a Range Rover because that's what your neighbors have, and I don't know why you wouldn't look at the Infiniti QX85, then the Lexus LX570 is pretty decent off-road. Any other comments from the peanut gallery back here?
No, I took one of these out here a few years ago, and I really didn't have any complaints with it. You know, got me and my girlfriend where we needed to go. Pretty comfortable. We even had the cool box in the middle, so we were able to, keep our drinks cool.
And that was on the, what year was that one?
Oh gosh, that was I think in 2016, so 16 or 17.
Okay. So they haven't really changed much, or have they?
Well, they had the facelift a few years ago, and then they gave it the 8-speed automatic, other little updates. So yeah, the one we were in, I think, had the new gearbox and everything. But yeah, I mean, it was very similar to this.
Why don't you get that creek? Just show people what they're missing when they're not in Texas.
Isn't that springy? And then we'll jump.
I don't know if we can actually go through the creek in an off-roader in this park.
The Jeeps can, but I wouldn't do it in this.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun, by the way.
Oh, it does, yeah.